with box office successes like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame bringing an end to one of the most watched movie franchises of all time, there's no doubt that superheroes are in at the moment. And since fiction is often better than reality, the majority of us can't help but think of a world where superpowers are actually possible. But what if we told you these so-called superpowers were already possible through the use of some incredible gadgets that, although expensive, could make you into the next Iron Man? So whether you're a fan of superheroes or just have a love for everything new on the technological circuit, stay right where you are, as we're about to explore some of the amazing superhero gadgets you can buy right now. You'll never guess what comes in at number 1. Number 10, the Daedalus Mark I. By far the most popular superpower of all time, flying is at the top of everyone's list. And while we are able to take to the air by booking a commercial flight or jumping straight out of a chartered airplane, this doesn't offer us nearly as much control as we'd like. The attractiveness of being able to fly is hidden in the freedom that this superpower would bring, after all. So a general lack of control really dampens the mood. That being said, there is a gadget that exists which can help us defeat gravity once and for all. And while this might not give us the absolute freedom and control we see superheroes like Superman and the Scarlet Witch employ, it's definitely a great step in the right direction. So, without further ado, let's introduce you to the Daedalus Mark I, as created and commissioned by Gravity Industries. Using miniature jet engines grouped around each other, the Daedalus is able to achieve vertical flight, becoming the first accessible jetpack on the market. With a roaring 1,000 brake horsepower, you'll be able to achieve a speed of around 85 miles an hour, which, although not quite as fast as Iron Man, looks just as incredible. Number 9, a fully functioning laser glove. Do you like the sound of flying around like Tony Stark? Then just you wait until you see the gadget that takes the 9th place on our list, which just so happens to be a like-for-like recreation of Iron Man's very own laser gloves, built by an engineer by the name of Patrick Pryby. These multi-functioning laser gloves don't just look like the ones used by everyone's favorite billionaire, but come packing a punch and a half. Fitted with a red 800 megawatt laser that ejects from the glove's motorized outer shell and a blue 3000 megawatt laser that protrudes from the glove's palm section, you'll have quite a bit of power in your hands. And if the red laser has enough power to pop a balloon as shown in the video, we can't imagine what the stronger blue laser will be able to take on. Suffice it to say, this laser glove is not a toy and should be handled with absolute care. That being said, we can't help but think how incredible it would be to combine a pair of them with a Daedalus to get the full Iron Man package. Now that's the dream. Number 8, the Mayo armband. The next gadget on the list is perfect for all you Star Wars lovers out there. And let's be honest, we've always dreamed of using the Force, right? There's nothing cooler than watching your favorite Jedi Master or Sith Lord walk up to an electronic door and wave his hand across it, causing it to slide open with a futuristic whooshing sound. And while we might have electronic doors in malls across the country, people from the real world have a way of staring when we wave our hands in front of the sensor and act like our own version of Luke Skywalker. But what if we told you that you can act like this in the comfort of your own home with the use of Mayo armband, which will allow you to encapsulate what it must feel like to be a legitimate Force wielder. According to Thalmic Labs, the Mayo armband attaches to your forearm and can be used to connect to nearby electronics ranging from drones to your very own computer screen. In other words, you'll be able to control these items remotely, as if using some or other mystical force. What could be better? Number 7, the steel-reinforced Octosuit. Sometimes it's the villain who gets the best technological apparel to use in fights though. And nowhere does this ring more true than in the adventures of Spider-Man, where the ingenious inventor, Dr. Otto Octavius, creates 4 reinforced steel tentacles, which can act independently of one another. While these could be used to climb to the top of buildings and fight off Peter Parker himself, we're also thinking how useful they'd be at a buffet. Think about it. You wouldn't have to constantly get up and get more food. And it looks like Eric Finman, a teenage Bitcoin billionaire, had a similar idea to us. But rather than using a prosthetic like this for his own good, Eric went ahead and had it commissioned and created for a young child who suffers from mobility issues. As such, the boy no longer needs to feel shame for his condition, and now turns heads for all the right reasons, while being able to do a bunch of things he couldn't before. Who even knew that a little Dr. Octavius was running around out there anywhere in the world? Way to go, Eric. Number 6, bionic boots. Another superpower that is really sought after is that of super speed, with speedsters like Quicksilver and the Flash leading the charge and showing comic book geeks the world over just what having such an incredible amount of speed could do, from traveling through time to saving your girlfriend from an out-of-control motor vehicle. Super speed is a definite winner. And believe it or not, Keihi Seymour has created a bionic boot that has allowed him to take the next step to superhuman speed. But don't worry, he won't be messing around with the timeline anytime soon. At least we hope he won't. You see, before the creation of this bionic boot, Seymour had a dream to be able to run as fast as an ostrich, which he ended up chasing for a grand total of 30 years. By allowing the wearer to travel at accelerated speeds with an incredible amount of agility, Seymour's bionic boots are a marvel to look at, and literally put a spring in your step, whether being used on a flat or rugged surface. And with these boots on his side, there's no doubt that Keihi Seymour is on his way to becoming the fastest man alive. Number 5, the Curitas. Straight from the scene of a science fiction movie, the Curitas is the first ever rideable, user-operated robot, which brings humanity one step closer to becoming DC's very own cyborg. Costing up to $1.4 million to create after 3 years of excruciating work in the realm of both coding and design, the Curitas is nothing to scoff at and might just be the future of crime fighting when it comes to patrolling the city streets. And while we're not quite sure whether having RoboCop attend to a crime in process is something which should ever actually happen, there's no doubt that the Curitas is an incredible piece of engineering. Don't stress about the uprising of the robots though, as the Curitas still needs to be controlled by human hands by either sitting in its cockpit or making use of an external controller of sorts. Either way, this 10,000-pound monster is sure to make the most dangerous of criminals wet his pants in fear. Number 4, the bulletproof suit. Let's just be honest for a quick second. Keanu Reeves is a hero in his own right, but is also known for his portrayal of some of the greatest heroes of all time. From his time spent playing the reality-bending Neo in the Matrix franchise to the puppy-friendly John Wick, who can be seen in the franchise of the same name, there's no doubting Keanu's skills. But reality is often duller than the movies we watch. How on earth could John Wick survive getting shot so many times, for example? There's no way a suit could be made so bulletproof, right? Well, as it turns out, this is indeed possible, as shown by the team at Garrison Bespoke, who have designed a state-of-the-art suit that is able to protect the wearer from small arms fire. The bulletproof suit harnesses its strength by using materials of the future, such as aramid fibers, graphene, and carbon nanotubes. While the nanotubes keep the suit flexible, low weight, and high strength all at once, it's really the stylish undertone of the suit that makes passers-by stare in wonder. Who knew that protection could look so good? Number 3, the Suit X exoskeleton. But if mutants like Piotr Rasputin are more your speed, then look no farther than the Suit X exoskeleton, which not only allows you to test out the superhuman strength of Colossus, but lets you do so while looking like a soldier from the future. Call of Duty Advanced War, anyone? Designed with physical laborers in mind, the Suit X is an affordable and industrial exoskeleton which fortifies our frail human bodies with steel frames and actuators. The initial purpose of the Suit X was to increase the physical fitness and well-being of employees while boosting productivity and preventing injuries while working. But the suit is no longer only available to first responders and warehouse workers, meaning you'll be able to pick one up for yourself if you have some extra money lying around. Imagine being able to lift a car without breaking a sweat. Now that's power. Number 2, the Pyro Fire Shooter. Then we have those superheroes like the Human Torch and Pyro, who clearly believe that offense is the best defense, and achieve their offensive prowess by controlling the element of fire. In some cases, these mutants and fantastic heroes are even able to create a flame from nothing more than the oxygen surrounding their bodies, which is surely a feat humanity will never be able to replicate. And this is completely true until the Pyro Firestarter gadget came along, which allows the wearer to shoot small fireballs from his open palm. In the words of Uncle Ben, though, with great power comes great responsibility. So, if you end up picking one of these gadgets up for yourself, be sure to treat it with respect. We wouldn't want you burning your house down now, would we? Number 1, Deluxe Biomechanical Spinal Armor. Last but not least, we have an incredible item which is sure to change the lives of of cosplayers everywhere. Allow us to introduce you to the one-of-a-kind deluxe biomechanical spinal armor, which was designed by Bionic Concepts. With its glowing vertebrae, neck brace, and respirator mask, the wearer becomes a soldier of the future, kitted out to tackle any complaints, from hostage situations to invading aliens and other supernatural forces. And while it might be true that this spinal armor and its heartbeat-syncing LEDs have next to no practical use, there's no doubt that it looks insanely cool and could intimidate just about anyone into giving you precisely what you want. What more could you ask for? So, what do you think of these futuristic gadgets? Any one in particular you'd like to grab for yourself? Let us know in the comments section down below.